There is a man, and you don't notice at first. He doesn't try to stand out. He doesn't speak much. But somehow, people notice him anyway. He walks into a room and nothing changes. No noise, no attention. But slowly, eyes start turning. Not because he's loud, but because he's calm. While others are trying to be seen, he's just there, watching, listening, understanding. He doesn't interrupt. He doesn't explain himself. And that's what makes people curious. Because in a world where everyone talks, silence feels powerful. You'll never hear him say too much. But when he speaks, people listen. Not because he's trying to impress. He doesn't chase attention. He doesn't chase people. He doesn't chase validation. And that is exactly why attention follows him. People try to understand him. Why is he so quiet? Why is he so calm? What is he thinking? But they never get a clear answer. Because he doesn't reveal everything. He knows something most people don't. Not everything needs to be shared. Not every thought needs to be spoken. Not every move needs to be seen. While others are showing their lives, he's building his. Quietly, slowly, patiently. He's not in a hurry. He's not trying to prove anything. Because he knows real power doesn't make noise. People mistake his silence for weakness. But they don't understand. Silence is not empty. It is full of control. He controls his words. He controls his emotions. He controls his reactions. And a man who controls himself is a man nobody can control. That is why he feels different. That is why he stands out without trying. That's why people remember him even when he says nothing. He's not trying to be mysterious. He just doesn't feel the need to explain himself to everyone. He learned a long time ago. Not everyone deserves to know everything about you. So he speaks when it matters. He shows up when it matters. And when it doesn't, he disappears into his own world. He is not everywhere. And that's why his presence feels rare. People don't value what they see every day. But something that appears once in a while becomes suspicious. That's why when he walks in, people feel it. Not because he's louder, not because he's richer, not because he's famous, but because he's in control of the one thing most people can't control: himself. And in a world where everyone is trying to control others, a man who controls himself becomes dangerous. Calm mind, silent moves, clear vision. He doesn't follow the crowd, and the crowd somehow follows him. That is the power of a mysterious man. He doesn't try to be seen, but he's never invisible. He understands something most people don't truly. Presence is louder than words. You can shout and still be ignored. Or you can stay silent and everyone listens. He chooses silence. He chooses discipline. He chooses control. And slowly, that choice changes the way the world sees him. He's not a mystery because he hides everything. He's a mystery because he reveals only what matters. There is a difference. Anyone can talk. Very few can stay silent and still be respected. That is why people remember him, and that is why he's mysterious. And the truth is, people are not attracted to noise. They're attracted to depth, to something they can't fully understand. Because what is easy to read is easy to forget. But what feels rare stays in the mind. And a man who is not easy to understand becomes impossible to ignore. Because he doesn't try to explain his worth, he lets time reveal it. While others rush to be understood, he's patient enough to be felt. He knows that attention fades, but presence remains. That is why he moves in silence and lets his actions speak. And in the end, the man who says less becomes the one people never forget.